to do all of the behind the scene things. Let's find us and tag us. Hi, Tina. You're the first one in. Welcome. Let me know if you can hear me and see me okay. Hey, Alyssa. Hi, Jeanette. Hi, friends. How's everyone doing today? Thank you for sprinkling, Alyssa. You're always so good about that, and I really do appreciate it. Thank you. Why is my tag thing staying? Sorry, guys. Hi, Kathleen. How are you? It did that before. Albert told me. The little thing that stays pinned to the top of all of our lives about the stars, that stayed like that one time. I remember Albert saying he can't see comments because that's not moving. So if that's happening for y'all today, I apologize. Facebook is crazy. Hi, Jenna. How are you? Did you get your son all taken care of? Hey, Dawn. Welcome in. Kathleen, what's your temperatures? Y'all, oh my gosh. Hi, Michelle. How are you? Michelle, did you see I finished my Glitterville inspired sled with presents using your sled? Did you see how it turned out? Turned out pretty cute. This is the one I was working on yesterday. The little presents, and the pink one that I hand painted the polka dots turned out okay. Remember I was saying, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna like her or keep her. They all turned out okay. I made crazy ribbon tails to almost look like hair on top of the little presents because the presents look like little characters. Thank you for sprinkling, Angel. I appreciate it. It turned out good. So I have it up here with my piney tree, and they're done. They're in the books. They're done. Did I miss? Kathleen, what's your temperature? Because you were so funny the other day saying, oh, it's cold here too. Kathleen, when I woke up this morning, it was 29. 29. And it has struggled to get into the 30s, guys. I don't even know if it's reached 40 for us today. It's like an Arctic cold blast. For the next 10 days, our overnight temperatures are going to be below freezing. So we're going to have to drip our faucets. And y'all, remember this past weekend when the ice storm came through and my kids got ice? They live 2 hours west and we got nothing. We just got rain. I'm like, oh, we were spared. I just saw a weather map this morning. There's another storm coming through this weekend, and us here on the coast, not inland, us here on the coast are expecting 1 to 3 inches of snow. Y'all, what kind of crazy world are we living in? Hi, Jess. Right, Kathleen? Burr. I don't do cold. What kind of cuckoo crazy world are we living in, y'all? We don't do snow here. I mean, we get snow, but it's very rare. We got it last year. Now we're getting it again this year. And the weird thing is that they're not predicting inland where they do get snow. Inland North Carolina, they're not predicting snow. They're still having the Arctic cold like we are, but it's so weird, guys. It's so weird. All right, let me explain a little. It's so cold in Florida right now. My brother-in-law and sister-in-law live in Sarasota. Where are you, Angel? Yeah, my brother-in-law's at his cabin in Tennessee right now. And Tennessee got hit really bad with that ice storm, y'all. They're the state with the most power outages. So guys, let me explain what we're working on. Hey, Holly. a mini little ceramic cake stand from Hobby Lobby. I pulled this from my stash, a cute little pink one. I used my drip cutter. This little one is one that I got from See My 3D Prints. And I cut 4 little drips. And then I put clear tacky glue around the edge and adhered the drips. Hey, Tina Smith, how are you? Welcome. Tina, I've been thinking about you. How are y'all with, what did you get from the ice storm? And how are y'all doing with your cleanup and recovery? Did you lose power? I've been thinking about you. Because I was just saying, Tennessee is one of the states hit the hardest. Tennessee and Mississippi seem to be the 2 states that actually fared the worst. So adhered the drip all the way around with some clear tacky glue, put on a little bit of tacky glue on the top, and now I'm gonna take some Unicorn Candy Fizz, Sweet Glitter from Paper Sweeties. Hi, Alita. It's cold. It's cold. That's what I'm just talking about. We're gonna sprinkle this liberally on. Let it stick to wherever the glue is. Alita, yeah, that's what I was just talking about. It is so cold. We're getting an Arctic blast. It's struggling today to actually get out of the 30s into the 40s for us. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is so pretty. I love it so much. This is I love all the colors, but I have 17 different colors of the sweet glitter. But the Unicorn Candy Fizz and the Pineapple Mojito are my 2 favorites. They're my 2 favorites. I could take a bath in this. Hey, Gift House Designs Art. Hey, Lisa. All right, now I'm going to pick it up and we'll let it shake off. And wherever there isn't glue, it'll come off. Then I'll get my fan brush. If you were my fan brush in my little tool caddy, where would you be? Here it is. Here it is. And then I will lightly just clean up the top a little. Just a little. You guys, look at that. How yummy is that? Oh my goodness. I love it so much. All right, so easy peasy, guys. Little mini cake stand from Hobby Lobby. Covered it with some air dry foam clay drip using a cookie cutter, and then added some Unicorn Candy Fizz sweet glitter. All right, I'm gonna set this off to the side, you guys, so I don't accidentally bump into it while we're making our snowman. All right, let's get this yumminess back in the hot tub with its friends. This stuff is like liquid gold. It is so yummy. I have 17 different colors, but like I said, this one is kind of my personal favorite. Thank you, Christy. Feels like 3 in Detroit, Michigan. Stop. Aledia. Eileen. Kim. Tina. Y'all, what is that with this cold? What is it with this cold? All right, I know it's January and it's winter, but this seems very extreme to me. I don't do cold. I don't do the cold. Okay, guys, we're going to make this little snowman to put on top of that precious little cake stand. So getting ready for today's live, I pulled 2 styrofoam balls from my stash. If anyone wants to reproduce this, if you have one of those little stands, my bottom one is about a 2.5 inch, and then my top one is about a 2 inch. So I took my heat tool and shaved a little bit off the top, a little bit off the bottom. So this is the bottom. It'll sit flat, and I can put the second layer on and it'll sit flat. I covered this one already with white air dry foam clay. All right, so here's our second little styrofoam. I'm getting all this glitter off my desk because it will just get in the clay. And I mean, that wouldn't make me so mad. Thank you, Lydia. All right, so same on this one. Shaved a little off the top, little off the bottom. This one, I did take my sanding tool and sanded it a little. The bottom one is the bottom of the snowman, so it didn't really make a difference. But the top, I want to make sure it sits flush. And I could put the brim of the hat on the top, and it'll sit nice. So let's cover this really quick with some white foam clay. Oh my gosh, you guys. It sounds like it's cold all over for everyone. Did Kathleen ever comment? What's your temperature, Kathleen? Because you cracked me up the other day. You're like, oh, it's cold here too. And you were like, it's 70 something degrees. I'm like, Kathleen, I love you, but that's not cold. I know that's cold for you. I actually, I've been to Hawaii 3 times, once to Maui and twice to Oahu. And the first time to Maui, it was in January. So it was in the 70s, like during the day. And at night, it got into the 50s and 60s. So if you mean that's cold, okay. No, it wasn't this bad last year. Last year, we actually did get snow here where I live, which, like I said, is very rare for us. And it was a cold snap, so it hung around for a while. Because, guys, we just don't have the equipment, the machines and the snow plows, and we have some, but not like they have in the northern part of the country where they're more used to this weather. Like, I was born and raised in upstate New York, and guys, I mean, we would get 12 inches of snow, another 6 inches of lake effect the next day, and the roads in 2 hours would be clear. I mean, they just do it. They have all the big plows with the double blades and the salt machines that they put the salt on the roads. And now I guess they all just do the brining. They do that here, where they put down the brine salt solution. And supposedly that works better than just putting down the sand. I don't know. Oh, Elidia, you love the snowman cake on the camera. I'm so happy. You love him and he's living at your house. That's awesome. That makes me so happy when someone loves something that I make enough that they want to adopt it. I love that so much. All right, I'm going to just get my glue brush that probably still has a little bit of glue on it, and just run it over this, because this is the smooth styrofoam. I'm so happy, Elidia. That makes me so happy. All right, we'll put that on, and then let's go ahead and flip it and cover this. That's why I did the first one ahead of, because you didn't need to sit here and watch me cover 2 styrofoam balls. 52 in Orlando right now. I would take 52, Angel. I would take 52. I would totally take 52. Yeah, it's so cold, you guys. It's so cold. I mean, our homes are not built like they are in the northern states. We're on a concrete slab, meaning we don't have a basement. We don't even have a crawl space. They don't do crawl spaces here because of the high humidity we have here, because we're so close to the ocean. And they don't do the crawl spaces here because it would trap moisture under your house and create a mold situation. So they don't even do the crawl spaces here. All right, cut the excess off. And then we're just gonna bring it up. Bring the sides up carefully. I'm trying not to pull on it. I'm just like folding it in on itself because I don't want to stretch it and create a tear. And it doesn't matter what that bottom looks like because that's going to get stacked on top of our first layer of our little snowman. So I'm just using my fingers to kind of bring it in, close out that bottom. Just cover this styrofoam, but I'm not even gonna worry about smoothing the wrinkles and the edges out because you will never see that, okay? So then I'm gonna roll it in my hands a little to get out any wrinkles that might be on the sides. Smooth that top out a little bit, the top of his head. Round it out a little bit. The brim of the hat's gonna go on here. Crawl space we did have a crawl space on our homes previous when we lived in Carthage, in Chapel Hill, in Apex, North Carolina. So basically what they do is they do your cinder block foundation and then they start the wood on top of that and you have X amount of space that's called a crawl space. So maybe it's 3 foot, it depends on the grade of your lot too. 3 foot or 4 foot or 2 foot or whatever. And then under there, you can actually crawl under and access all of the workings of your house. You can access your pipes and your electric lines and all of the things. So it's actually awesome to have a crawl space. Like I said, our house is on a concrete slab, so they did the foundation and then they backfilled it with dirt and then filled it in with concrete. And before they filled it in with concrete, they went ahead and buried all of our water pipes and conduit to run our underground from the road, the electricity to come into our house. And then they run the pipes and the electrical lines from all of that in the concrete slab up into the walls of the house. So that's why we drip our faucets, because we don't want any pipes to freeze and crack, because it would not be easy to get to them. They would have to take our floors up and bust up our concrete slab. When you have a crawl space, if you have an issue, service people can get under your crawl space and access your pipes and your wires and your HVAC and, you know, all the things. So, yeah. And I don't know what y'all are on. Hey, Dee, how are you? Hi, Kathy. I don't know what y'all are on, Kathleen in Hawaii. Do you know? I'm sure you don't have a basement, or maybe you do. Are you on a crawl space or just a slab? Y'all, well, depending on what side of the island you live on, because Hawaii is all the islands are very diverse. One side of the island can be tropical rainforest and the other side of the island can be more Sahara desert-like. All right, I'm gonna mark I'm gonna find what looks good for my front. This looks good for the front. I'm gonna mark 2 little pilot spots where we're gonna put the eyes. I pulled these for the eyes. Oh, see, Kathleen, same thing. Same thing as us. I thought these eyes would be super cute. They're from that Ojos, a lot of us buy from. And this is the right size, and we're gonna go ahead and put them in. I'm gonna add, I'm just trying to think out loud, guys, what I want to do. I'll add a little bit of tacky glue to the 2 spots where I made the little pilot holes. Even though they're adhesive back, for anyone new, even though they're adhesive back, I like to add a little bit of extra glue, whether it's tacky glue or super glue for insurance, especially if I'm selling it and shipping it. Hi, Teresa. Teresa, you always inspire me to almost want to try something with resin. And then in the end, I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't do another new craft. I will just buy whatever I need from my friends. These eyes are super cute, guys. Super cute. It's like anything with a new craft. You need all of the things. And I have enough of all of the things, guys. All right, 2 eyes are in. Now I'm gonna come. You've seen me do this a million times. Full basement, furnace and water heater are down there. Helps with the heat for sure, Lydia. Letting your water drip, yeah, so smart. Even on a basement. When my son was going to school up in Philadelphia, I mean, he lived in a basement apartment and came home from school one day and the pipes froze. So even if you do have a basement, your pipes can still freeze. So it's always smart to just drip your faucets if you're in an area getting below freezing. All right, there's the little eyes embedded in. Super cute. And you know, guys, you want to poke them in really, really good. So as your clay dries and puffs up, they won't pop out of your head of your character. They will, if you push them in really good, as the clay dries and shrinks and puffs, they will just dry nice. All right, and I say this all the time too, guys. I typically like to let my clay dry before I add the shadow, but when you're live, you just have to keep going. So I start off with just a little bit on my shading brush, and I go back in with layers on layers on layers. Because it's wet. Oh my gosh, you guys, can you hear that? I don't know if you can hear that, because when you go live, sometimes it cancels out the noise. The workers next door have the music blasting. I'm so ready for them to be done with this house next to us, guys. So yeah, so if you're new and if you can, let your clay dry before you go to shadow it. But then if you're putting all the other elements on the face, guys, you kind of have to do your shadow first. So it's like 6 of a one, half a dozen of another. So you just have to, sometimes you just have to wing it. All right, I'm gonna set the cute little face aside. Kathy, I measured them and mentioned what they were in the beginning of the live. I wanna say the bottom ball was 2.5 and the top ball was 2. You guys, is that what I said? Teresa, oh, I'm gonna send you a picture when I finish. I started a baby blanket over the weekend to send to a friend that has a new baby. I'm gonna send you a picture. I wanna see yours too. Did I know you crochet? Yeah. Oh, how cute, how cute. Oh, Jess, thank you for keeping me straight. Jess says yes, those measurements were correct. And you can change yours depending on what you're gonna put. If you're gonna put your snowman on something, mine is going on this little mini cake stand. So those 2 styrofoam ball sizes were the perfect size for my mini cake stand. Okay, so for mine, guys, I took a half teaspoon of peach taffy foam clay. I'm rolling it in a ball to kind of get the creases out. I'm gonna roll it in a chunky teardrop situation. Hold on, it's got glitter in it. I don't know how that happened. Oh my goodness. There is glitter all over my house at all times, guys. There's probably a little bit of glitter on my silicone mat. And all right, try it again. That's okay. There's still glitter. That's okay, we're leaving it. It'll be fine. Right, Teresa? It'll be fine. All right, so then I'm spinning it around, and with my fingers, I'm kind of finger pressing the base to make that area that's gonna go on his little face flat. And then I take the nose part and I just give it a few little twists to make it like wonky looking. And it ends up looking like that. Okay, guys? See, and here's what I was saying. You kind of have to shadow the cheeks before you start adding your nose and your mouth, okay? And then once I have it on and happy with the placement, I'll maybe give it a few more twists. I'll finger press it all the way around to make sure that orange is touching all of the white. And if you need to adjust any of the wonkiness of your nose, that would be a good time to do it. I like big noses on my snowman. So cute. All right, so now I'm gonna add some of these black crystals from Michael's Recollections. I'm gonna come back in with my tiniest ball tool and make some pilot hole spots for where I want to put the coal for his mouth. I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And for my snowman, I always start with the first little pilot hole right under the nose. And then I do 3 or 4 on either side, depending on the size. He's a small guy, so I only had room to do 3 on each side. But if you have a larger one, like Frostine back here, she has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, she has 7 too, but I use big black buttons on hers. All right, so now I do want to add a little clear tacky glue onto my glue dish that Cece made me. Hi, Wendy. How are you? Look at Wendy. Look at how yummy this is. Little mini cake stand from Hobby Lobby, pink, with drip and unicorn candy fizz. Sweet glitter. That's what we did so far. We're making a snowman to go on top of that cake stand. All right, so now I'm gonna come in with a toothpick that has a flat end. I have some of my tacky glue on my little glue plate. I'm going to get my little wax tip pen. Michelle Crafty Ma'am made this for me. Actually, I think her kids made it for me. And I'm gonna pick up a tiny little bit of glue, clear tacky glue, and I'll do like 3 little holes at a time. Add a little bit of clear tacky glue into where I made those pilot holes with my ball tool. And then come over to where these crystals are. And we're just going to insert them, embed them into those little holes where I've added the glue to make the little snowman mouth. So cute. So cute. This is all I can think of making, guys. When it's so cold out, all I can think of making is snowmen. Hi, Tanya. Good morning. Hi, Sherry. How's everyone doing? Are you keeping warm? At least attempting to stay warm. Tanya is coming to us from Australia, so it's probably very warm where she is. Unlike us here. I want to say most of the United States, with the exception of parts of Florida, but most of the United States is under Arctic freeze right now, guys. I hate it. I hate the cold. I literally hate it. I go outside and I just can't stand it. All right, look at how sweet the little faces. Thank you, Kathy. Yeah, I'm obsessed with snowmen. I actually love snowmen. Wendy, did you see how my Glitterville sled and presents came out? Did you see? Did you see how they came out? They came out so cute. All right, I'm gonna put your top back on to save your wax. All right, we're done with this for now. I'm gonna get brave, you guys. I'm gonna get brave. I'm not doing full-on eyelashes, but I'm gonna get brave. I'm gonna come in with my eyeliner makeup brush, and I'm gonna make two little, I'm gonna attempt. You didn't? Okay, hold on, Wendy, I'll get it and I'll show you. Are you're home? I don't want to interrupt you if you're driving. Two little swoops. I'm getting better, guys. I'm in the Mama's House private group, and I'm getting confidence from doing the projects in the group and being taught by Jill. She's given me the confidence to just keep trying, her and Shelby. And we get super quiet when we do this, guys. Pause, please. And then she always says to go back in and make sure you hit the inside spot of the clay. So it doesn't look like the eyelashes are floating. So it makes it look like they're actually attached. I'm getting better, guys. I'm getting braver. Like anything, practice makes perfect. Eyelashes. I said I was only going to do 2 and I did 4. Yes. All right. You saw Piney. Wendy, you saw Piney. Let me move this head out of the way so I don't wreck those eyelashes. Piney, no S, because of, you know, the things. And here's how the sled and the presents turned out. Look at those crazy little faces and crazy little, I made the ribbons on the bows wonky to almost look like hair coming off it because all the presents look like characters. And here's the set. Here's the set. I'm so happy with how it turned out, you guys. It was a lot of work. Nice and warm. Nice, Tanya. I'll hop on a plane and I will be there knocking on your door in about 2 days, okay? Thank you, Jeanette. Yeah, those both are one and done. Several people have contacted me. Oh, so cute. Can you make me one? I said, no. They were too much. Thank you, Wendy. Thank you. They were a lot of work, you guys. A lot of work. All right, I want to make sure these little coal rhinestones are really pushed into that clay. Same like the eyes, guys. As the clay dries, you don't want your rhinestones to pop off your little snow lady's face, okay? All right, what do we want to do next? I'm going to set her. Let's go ahead and add her to the body. We'll go ahead and add her to the body. So I'm just going to make a pilot hole in our bottom snowball. Where's my front? Get a good side to the front. That looks good. We'll make a little pilot hole right in the middle. Add a little super glue onto a toothpick and push that down in. Oop, a little bit too far. And then come back in with some more super glue on the toothpick and a little bit around the base of the toothpick, and we'll bring our snow person head, and I'm going to be careful because this I did this morning, still wet, but it's dry enough to touch. This, you guys, we just did right now together, and I don't want to mess it up, so I'm going to be careful. Oh my gosh, how cute. And say it with me, class, the more the merrier. Be careful what you wish for. Oh, thank you, Dee. They were fun to make, but like I said, a lot of work. Hold it, hold it, hold it. And I knew there was gonna be a tiny little bit of separation between the head and the body, so we're gonna make a scarf. See the separation? Kind of is giving me Olaf vibes a little bit. You know, the one from the Frozen movie that the kids watch? He's a little snowman, so cute. All right, next I think we should do the scarf, and then we'll give her some arms. So let's give her a quick little scarf. I was working on a custom order this morning for another penguin, and I did a scarf for her, and I had a little bit left over for the hanging down tassel-y part. But I'll show you really quick. You guys have seen me do this a bunch of times before, but for anyone that's new or hasn't seen me do it, I'll show you really quick how I do my scarves. So you can do them all one color. I like sometimes doing multiple colors. So you take a little bit of either your one color or your multiple colors. Tanya, when you say nice day, like what's your high for the day today? What's your high for the day today? Like what, 70s or 80s or 90s? I want this to be big enough to go around the snowman or our snow person. Okay. Uh-oh, I think my comments might have stopped, you guys. I don't know. All right, so you want to roll 2 little worms about the same length. Okay, and then what I do is I put them together like that. Cut this off. where there's a little bit of excess. I think we're done with these colors for the time being. So then you could do the one hand up, one hand down method, but because this is so little, I just twist it with my fingers. Hi, Ann, welcome in. 48 in Green Cove Springs, Florida. It was in the 80s on Sunday, yeah. It's probably in the 40s here for us now. I would check, but I'm filming with my phone and I don't wanna screw up my broadcast, so it's cold, guys. It's cold. It's Tuesday, so right after this, my husband usually gets out of work early-ish on Tuesdays. So right after this, we'll be heading out, going to get Taco Tuesday, and then some groceries, preparing for our next Snowmageddon. So then you have your little twist. This is just like, you guys, when you make a lollipop or a candy cane. And then what I do is I flatten it out just a little bit, just to kind of start getting it flat. And then I take my little cable knit sweater impression, 38 degrees Celsius. What would that be Fahrenheit? I don't know Celsius. And then I just push it down, all the way across to make the pattern in it super easy. And then I go over it a second time and do it again, because you guys, as the clay dries, it's gonna puff up and you're gonna lose some of that impression. So I make sure it's really in there, really good. Then I turn it sideways and kind of carefully, because by pushing it down, it like misshapes it. So I come in with my two pinky fingers and carefully go up and down it and kind of push it in a little so it shapes it nice again. All right, so then we're gonna bring our snow person back. Actually, I don't need that. I do need the blue and the pink still, because we're gonna make mittens. I'm gonna bring the little snow person back. I might make this a little bit more narrow. Okay, that looks good. All right, so I'm gonna start in the back, layering this onto our snow person. And just wrapping it around. Oh, how cute, you guys. How cute, how cute, how cute. I will hold it up in a second for you to see. And I do have a little bit left over. No worries. I will save it for another project. All right, I'm gonna cut this off. See, that would have been what I would use to create the hanging down part. But like I said, I was working on a custom order this morning and had a little bit already left over, so no worries. There's a little piece of glitter that got in my white. Shoot. All right, I'm gonna lightly finger press my seam on the back. And again, I'm being very gentle with this because I don't want to unemboss the pattern. It's a real chunky piece of glitter. Oh, I got it. Look at how cute. Look at how cute, you guys. So cute. All right, I am going to, while this is still wet, guys, so what I do is I take the leftover. You guys have seen me do this before. I kind of cut a point at the top, like where your knot on your scarf would be. And then come down at the bottom and I take a real pointy pair of scissors. Cut it straight across. and then I cut in some fringe. All right, and I'll save this for another project. Or you could add 2. I think 2 might overwhelm our little snow person. Might overwhelm her. Yeah, I'm just gonna do 1. I'll set this over to the side. I'll let it dry. All right, and even though this is a wet clay, on wet clay, I'm gonna add a tiny bit of super glue right there on the back of this, in the area like where our knot would be attached to the top of the scarf. And come back in, and again, I'm being super careful because I'm trying not to emboss any of our cute little cable knit sweater. And I'm holding it, gentle. Okay, super cute. That's why I used the Unicorn Candy Fizz Sweet Glitter, because I knew I was gonna do the pink and the blue. All right, let's make some arms for her really quick. You guys, I'm running out of time. Let me make, you guys have seen me do arms before for Piney, how I put the wire in the middle. Let me make the top of her hat super quick, all right? So I took one of my 1-inch 3D printed cupcake liners from Michelle, Crafty Ma'am, filled the inside with some yucky old clay just to fill the inside. You can use anything. You could use old leftover styrofoam, anything you have in your stash, guys, just as filler. Old yucky clay. Now I'm taking some cookie dough and let's see, maybe 1 tablespoon. Thank you, Robin. Let's see. Taco Tuesday, yep. We go Taco Tuesday. I think we're probably going to Chipotle today. So I'll probably get a chicken bowl. That's my favorite, guys. Yum. All right, 1 tablespoon of cookie dough. We'll see if this is enough to cover the top. So I'm rolling out a ball to get the creases out. And I'm gonna flatten it. Every other week, guys, in this group, I'm gonna have 1 hour and 20 minutes. This is my week where I only have the hour, and I wish I had the 1 hour and 20 because I know I'm not going to finish both of those arms. Okay, needs to be a little bit wider. So I'm just using the palm of my hand to flatten it a little bit more. That looks good. All right. We'll add some tacky glue right around the edge of that 3D printed cupcake liner, just to give it some sticking power. So this is the cupcake top, like the muffin top. Okay, add it. And I'm going to push it down into that glue. There's a little ridge edge. And by me pushing this cookie dough clay down, it kind of camouflages the little ridge on the cupcake liner. Okay, so there's the little cupcake. I've picked it up into fast mode, guys. I have 12 minutes. All right, let's make some frosting. So I'll take some white. I'm going to, again, roll a worm. And I haven't been lollygagging. I've really been moving along on this tutorial, but it's always so hard to judge, like how much you're going to be able to actually accomplish in an hour. An hour goes by so fast. Okay. I always like to roll more than I think I need because I hate to run out when you're doing a twist or a frosting. I hate to run out. So always roll a little bit more than you think you might need. All right, get another little piece of white to put in the center. To roll that frosting around. And I just rolled like almost like a candy kiss. I did a teardrop and now I'm flattening it out to be like a flat cone. And then we'll set it right in the center there. And that will help stabilize our frosting. So you don't have hollow in the middle and your frosting doesn't collapse on itself, okay? So then I flatten this one end out where we're gonna start. I give it a little finger press flat. Doesn't matter where you start. Wherever you start, that's gonna be the back. So I'm gonna start right there and we're gonna wrap it around and I'm spinning the cupcake as I'm wrapping around. When you meet back at the beginning, you're gonna pivot it and twist and go up and create another layer of frosting. And I'm spinning, 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 pivoting and twisting. And then when I get to the top, I'm gonna add a gumdrop on the top of mine. So I'm just going to end mine flat. But if you weren't, you can twist, finger twist it to create, you know, a little whoosh on the top, a little, you know, like if it was soft serve ice cream. But I ended mine and I'm gonna just push it down in that whole flat, kind of flatten it out. And then we're gonna come in. I have this cute little, with the same blue, little gumdrop that, again, I got from Michelle, the Crafty Ma'am. I'm adding some super glue onto the bottom of the gumdrop. And that's gonna be our topper for our cupcake. And that's why I made the top of my frosting flat. Okay, there's that. All right, 10 minutes. All right, I cut a little circle. I took a circle cookie cutter, put it on a piece of cardboard, cut it out. Now coming with some of that same pink like we used for the scarf. I'm not gonna get to the arms, guys. I will finish this off camera and take pictures, but I'm doing the arms the exact same way that I did them for Daphne, okay? I did her last week. So if you haven't done arms and you want to see how I did those, you can go back and watch the replay of that tutorial. For 30 days, my tutorials are left here on my Paper Sweeties business page, and thereafter, when Facebook takes them down, I upload all of my tutorials to my YouTube channel, Paper Sweeties on YouTube. Sorry guys, that's so loud. So they will be there forever. YouTube does not take them down. So, and I literally have hundreds. So just take my little piece of cardboard. Again, I'm going to come back in with my glue brush. that probably still has remnants of the glue on it. Put it down, and we'll cut this excess away. Doesn't matter how the bottom looks, you're not going to see it. I just want to make sure I leave enough that I'll have enough that I could wrap it under and close it off. So I left way more than what I need. It really is. Okay, I'll cut a little bit more of this off. Because guys, I don't like to waste clay. You know me. I conserve whenever I can. I conserve it whenever I can. All right, and now I'm just going to bring this up, close it off on the bottom, and this is going to be the brim of our hat. Up next is Jess from Jess's Custom Creations, filling in for Mrs. P. And then I am unsure if Sam is going in her regular 6 o'clock spot. There was something this morning, she wasn't sure if she was going to be able to make it. She is always so busy with her work schedule and all her extracurricular, with her shows and plays and everything. She amazes me at actually what she does. All right, so see, I closed that all off on the bottom. Again, I'm just finger pressing it closed. It doesn't really matter what the bottom looks like because it's gonna go on our little snow person's head and you won't see it. I'm more concerned with the top, but most of that top will be covered with our cupcake, guys. So you don't have to get super crazy getting every single wrinkle out. But it's cute. It made a cute little circle brim. Okay. So the only thing I didn't get to was the arms, guys. The arms and the mittens, but I'm doing the arms and the mittens, like I said, the exact same way I did for Daphne last week. So you can go back, if you haven't done arms and mittens, and you need a tutorial or even a little refresher course, you can go back and watch the replay of that tutorial I did last week. All right, so I'm gonna bring her back over and I'll add a little bit of super glue. Even though it's wet clay to wet clay, this little head has already had a chance to form a little bit of skin on the clay, so I'm just gonna add some super glue. We'll add the brim of her hat. And hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Hold it for 5 seconds. And then we'll come in with our cutest little cupcake. And I'm going to add 2 glues. Super glue around all of the edges, and then a nice little dollop of hot glue in the middle just for instant stick. We know it won't hold up over time, and that's why we did the 2 glues. We'll find our center and add our cupcake in the center of the brim, and hold it, hold it, hold it. I'll turn it around and hold it up. Hi, Marianne, how are you? In a second. All right, so she is still gonna get arms. So picture her with arms. Let me bring our little stand back over. Our cute little unicorn candy fizz sweet glitter stand. She's gonna get added to the stand right in the center, like that. She'll have her 2 little arms, and her arms with her mittens will be holding this snowflake. And this is from Michelle Crafty Ma'am too. So she'll have her 2 little arms, holding the snowflake in front of her. I needed like 15 more minutes, so I should have planned this project for next week when I'm on for the hour and 20 minutes. I would have had plenty enough time to finish her, but you can visualize her with arms, right? Thank you, Angel. So her two little arms, she's gonna have white arms with blue mittens, and then I'll do a little pink cuff around the mittens. So they will look exactly like the arms on, well, I didn't do the cuff on Daphne. This is Jenna's. She's sold already, and then I got orders for two more, so I'll have to make 2 more. But the arms will look like that with the mitten, and she'll be holding her snowflake. You guys, you see the colors that I love? I just always go to these. Thank you, Dee. Thank you, Anne. She will have her 2 little arms and holding the snowflake. That was my silicone mat. It just fell. I'm going to pick it up so it doesn't get dusty and dirty. It's super cute, right, guys? So cute. She's cute just like that if you didn't want to do arms. But mine's going to have arms because I want her to hold this snowflake like that off to the side. I'll do it off to the side so it doesn't get into her scarf. Then I was going to add this little reindeer too, but I think there's going to be enough going on. I don't know. Maybe I still can. I don't know. I'll have to see. Once I do the arms in the snowflake, I'll have to see if I have room. If I have room left, I was going to add this little reindeer down in the front. We'll see. Maybe the reindeer, maybe not. We'll just have to see. Thank you, Jenna. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for hanging out with me, crafting and chatting with me today. I appreciate it. Thank you to everyone that follows me and everyone that sprinkled. I really appreciate it. We're going to hop over to Jess's Custom Creations next and see what she has in store for us. All right, guys, I'll be live again tomorrow morning at 11 doing a live craft, and at 2 doing a live sale. Hopefully you can pop on by and visit with me again tomorrow. Until next time, everyone be sweet. Thank you. Bye.